And for the next couple of minutes, I can still say good morning, everyone, and welcome to Southaven Chamber of Commerce's quarterly luncheon, your employment refresh, featuring Diane Heyman, president of DMH Consulting. Today's luncheon, presented by Advanced Dental Implants and TMJ and Windstone Dental. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Todd Demers. I work at News Channel 3, and I'm thinking most of you probably remember me from 36 years ago when I first arrived. Been around town for just a little while. Hopefully you had the opportunity to watch a little bit this morning on News Channel 3 from daybreak. I did want to take just a moment, since I have the microphone and I have a little bit of your attention at the moment. I wanted to remind you that the weather for tomorrow is looking a little bit stormy, with some gusting winds possible and even a slight risk of severe weather. And after all of the ice storm stuff we had, there might still be some tree limbs and tree branches just waiting for a reason to fall and maybe cause some more problems. And I certainly hope that does not happen, because we've been doing so good this week after all the cleanup from last week's ice storm. But again, with gusting winds tomorrow, there could be some tree branches coming down. I just wanted to make you aware of that and urge you maybe to download the WREG weather app or your favorite app. One way or another, please stay alert to those rapidly changing weather conditions that are going to be coming our way, especially later tonight and into early tomorrow. Now would be the perfect opportunity for you to take your phone and put it on silent. Last thing you want to have is that ringing right in the middle of our program, right? But at the same time, while it's on silent, I don't know if that means it's going to be in the airport mode or not. We certainly hope you're taking a moment to take a few pictures as well, keeping in mind if you're going to be posting those on social media, whether it's going to be your favorite Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, I don't know what it is. If you'd like to, please remember to use the hashtag Southaven Chamber. That way you're going to be able to share all of your pictures with all of your friends and retweet them and share them with the community as well. Our program about to get underway. I would like to welcome Eric Williamson with Brown Missionary Baptist Church to the stage. He's going to lead us in the invocation as well as the pledge, and then after the pledge, please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be sung by Melissa McReynolds, also with Brown Missionary Baptist Church. Mr. Williams.
Good morning. So when Debbie asked me to do this, I was like, wow, why me? So we are Brown Missionary Baptist Church. Has anyone heard of us before? Ooh, thank you. Pastor Orr will be happy to hear that. So I have been asked to lead us in invocation and then obviously our pledge of allegiance. So I am not a minister, y'all. Pastor Orr had another meeting today. So y'all pray with me. So let us go to God in prayer for just a few minutes. So eternal God, I pray that you bless this meeting and keep us. Lord, make your face shine upon us and be gracious to us. Lord, I pray for the productive decisions and discussions that are made here today so that we can make our city, our county, and our state a better place to live. Lord, I pray you continue to open the doors for these businesses and these business owners and churches like ourselves, Lord, that you just show your abundance, love, and grace. And Lord, now that we ask to bless this food, Lord, in a world where so many are hungry, may we eat this food with humble hearts. In a world where so many are lonely, Lord, may we share this fellowship with joyful hearts. Amen. And I now ask that you stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you will remain standing. You good there? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our own Melissa McReynolds.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh my goodness. How do you follow that? Melissa, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Guys, welcome to the first luncheon of 2022. We are so happy to have you. I am blown away at the response of wanting to be in person. Those of you who are getting food, there's some more tables over to the left. I made the comment earlier that we might have to have shared plates and sit in laps because we had a great response even after deadline for everyone coming. So I'm so glad that you're here. There are a few things that you're going to see a little differently this year. If you look around, we have pieces of art. I would love to thank Kelly Atkins, Tony Roberts, and artist Karen Klinger. They brought art to us. They're sitting at the back table. We are very grateful. If you want information about that art, there's information on the back of each piece. So I wanted you guys to know that. If you've passed out all your business cards, or if you're hesitant to exchange contact, the Fellow app, we use that a lot. There are different QR codes. You can download that app. If you're in that app, it allows you to connect with everyone in the room. So I encourage you to bring your phone out and to do that if you have not. And we appreciate Robbie Yates, co-developer of that, bringing that to help us. We always want tools to help connect, so we love having that. We've partnered with Hernando, Horn Lake, Olive Branch Chambers of Commerce, and the DeSoto County Economic Council to offer a free active shooter class. It's going to be right here in this room next Tuesday. It's at 8 a.m. Please sign up your companies. Please sign up your employees. You can do that through the chamber website. We want you to be safe, and we just want to offer this as a community service so that everyone knows what to do in the event of the unspeakable. Our magazines are out, 2022 magazine. Please check those out if you have not. We hope they were mailed to the homes and the businesses, so we're so glad to have that. If you're interested in information, let us know. At this time, I would love to recognize our dignitaries in the room. I would like to thank Mayor Darren Musselwhite for attending today, as well as our Alderman William Jerome, his wife Patty, Alderman George Payne, I believe his wife Lori is here too. I haven't seen her yet though. Alderman Raymond Flores, Alderman Joel Gallagher, Representative Walt Starr from Congressman Trent Kelly's office, Adam Gruggs. I haven't seen Adam yet, but he's also with Congressman Kelly's office, so they always attend. We appreciate them being here as well. Thanks so much to our law enforcement that are here today. Tish, and we have sheriff's departments here. We're glad that you guys are here. Our board of directors, April Armstrong is our board president. She's with Chick-fil-A Southaven. Chad Greenlee, Dr. Jason Walton, Dr. Stephen Joe, and Dr. Pradeep Adatro are our two presenting sponsors today, and I'm so grateful for them to do that and to be here. Gina Wigington, Jeff King, Christy Ferguson, and Tina Tatum are all on our board of directors. I know that you guys know them, but if you don't know them and want to know them, please reach out to us. We would love to introduce you. Our Southaven Chamber ambassadors, can you guys raise your hand if you're a chamber ambassador, please? I love that they're spread all throughout the room. They do their best to try to help introduce folks, so I love that. Thank you to Rachel O'Halloran, our Marketing Member Services Manager. Beth Snow is at our registration table with Back Office Guru. We're so glad that she's here. Courtney Pinkston with FTN Creative, and Aaron Kozart with Wisdom Integrators. They're taking care of our AV and our video. We are videoing our luncheon for the first time. We're excited for that. Elizabeth is also here from Ceasefire. Elizabeth Irvin is on our board. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thanks for making us look good, Courtney and Aaron. We appreciate you. I also want to thank our silver sponsor, Allegiant Staffing. I hope you have a chance to meet with them. They have an exhibit table. We also have Woodman Life, Tropical Getaways by John, Southaven Young Professionals, the Southaven Human Resource Association, the Hope Center, Tops Barbecue, and Memphis Americans all have exhibit tables. That is an easy way to meet people, to get people to know what your business is. If you're interested in those, let us know. Now I would like for you to join me in welcoming our presenting sponsors. It's very unique that we have a shared presenting sponsor. Dr. Pradeep Adatro is with Advanced Dental Implants and TMJ. He is the owner there. And Dr. Stephen Joe is owner of Windstone Dental. Dr. Joe has been a staple in our chamber for a very long time. I would like to now welcome Dr. Joe to come to the stage. He's going to tell you about Windstone Dental, and then we will have Dr. Adatro also tell you about Advanced Dental.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Joe. It's an honor for Windstone Dental to be a presenting sponsor today, along with my colleague and good friend, Dr. Pradeep Adatro. It's a greater honor for me to have been able to practice dentistry in this great community for nearly 30 years. We've got a great mayor here, Darren Musselwhite, that does a tremendous job. And I'm just thankful for the time that I've been here, as I said, over 30 years. And this is how it all began. In 1983, I finished dental school in Jackson, Mississippi. Didn't really know where to go. There were some options and opportunities. I went to work for a dentist named Don Newcomb in 1983. He had several offices in North Mississippi. Southaven was one of them. So that didn't go real well. Dr. Newcomb was a great guy. He just didn't pay me very well. So I thought it was time to move on, and Southaven sounded like a great place. I knew one person in Southaven at the time, and just come to meet a lot of people over the years, and it's been a blessing to my family. So I've had great support, my wife Helen and family, and my mother and mother-in-law here today. We've got a great staff that's been with us for a long time, and I just love doing dentistry. Hopefully I can hang around a few more years, if Lord willing. But in 1985, we built our first office on Northwest Drive across from City Hall, and we remained there for 20-something years. And we continued to grow. In 2005, I brought my partner in, Dr. Rhett Simmons, and he's been with us since that time. 2012, we opened a second location on Goodman Road, and we've been there, believe it or not, 10 years. And then in 2020, my youngest daughter, Cameron, graduated from UT Dental, and she's joined the practice. So things are going well. As I mentioned, we got a great staff where we do general dentistry, utilizing the newest technologies, the best products. We thrive on building relationships with our patients, and it's all about long-term care, and that's what we strive to do, and we'd love to have you as part of our practice. There's a couple verses that we try to abide by in what we do every day, and the first is Colossians 3:23, and that's to do everything with passion, and the other is 1 Peter 4:10, and that's to utilize the talents that we've been gifted with to serve others. So again, thank you for allowing me to speak these few minutes today, and I'm going to bring Dr. Adatro up now.
Good afternoon. It's an awesome turnout. I would like to thank the Southaven Chamber for putting up a nice program for this afternoon, and also giving us an opportunity to be the presenting sponsors. I've been practicing. My name is Pradeep Adatro. I'm actually a dental specialist. I'm a board-certified implant surgeon. So I've been practicing in this great city of Southaven for the past 6 years. Southaven has been great to me. It's a great city, great place to practice, wonderful people. Prior to this, I was teaching at the University of Tennessee for 14 years. I was a professor and director over there. And finally, one day, I said, midlife crisis hit. I needed I needed something different to open a practice, and I decided on Southaven. It was great. We have an amazing team over there. And we provide services for dental implants, TMJ therapy, and gum disease treatments, etc. We work a lot with the general dentists in the area, and Dr. Joe is one of the person that I work with. So again, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be a presenting sponsor, and enjoy your program.
Okay, caught me by surprise. I wasn't ready there. You want to hear an interesting thing about, me when I do the weather? I don't know if you have a chance to watch very often, but when I'm doing weather, we used to do weather in front of a green screen. It was called a chroma key wall, so I could never wear green, right? Otherwise, you just fade out. The monitor wall that I use now to do the weather looks just like this. I mean, it's got some framing to it and everything, but that's exactly what that is. And I don't know who put that together. But Patty, could we work on getting one of those for our house? Because that is really, really sweet. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just thinking, can we just kind of send a little message to Chef Jennifer and the crew? What a wonderful job and the wonderful food they put together. Go ahead, you can raise your hand. You can go ahead. Oh, he's Mr. Humble over there, that's for sure. I'm sure you're here to hear more from our guest speaker today, Diane Heyman, a career human resources professional, where most of her career was built working in the hospitality industry with Hilton Hotels Corporation. She worked there for 25 years, over 25 years, in all areas of human resources. Her last held position at Hilton was as Senior Vice President of Compensation and Benefits globally, where she led a global team. She then joined ALSAC, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, served there as their Chief People Officer for 7 years. Diane now has her own human resources consultancy where she puts her experience to work to help business leaders develop strategies to address their most pressing workforces. And one of her pressing things that she needs to work on right now, I believe her son is going to be getting married soon, so she's all excited that. Hey, can we give a warm welcome to Diane Heyman to the stage, our keynote speaker for today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Todd, for that introduction. And I'd like to thank Debbie King and the Southaven Chamber for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you this afternoon. So as an HR consultant, I speak with business leaders and owners. And what they tell me right now is their biggest concern is talent. They need workers, they need them now, and they need them to be able to fit within their organization. And many business leaders are pretty concerned about this. They're perplexed. Why is this happening? And frankly, they're a little bit panicked about this talent crisis. So why is this so hard? Why has this become so hard? Well, in the words of Marshall Goldsmith, what got us here is not going to get us there. And what we have to learn and understand is the talent workforce has changed, and we're going to have to adjust to it. So my goal this afternoon is to give you a little bit of my thoughts about how we got here, and then some practical ideas that may help you rethink your talent strategy and help you refresh it in a way where you can be able to attract and retain the best talent for your organization. Okay, so I think to give you a little background, this is my thoughts about how we got here. And I think it's been a series of greats. The great loss, the great reflection, the great resignation, and now the great reshuffle. So let's unpack that for a little bit. The great loss. So in the last couple of years, we've all had a lot of loss. We've had a loss of freedom. We've had a loss of jobs in some cases. We've had a loss of our health, if not just for a short period of time, for those of us that became ill with COVID. And we've also had a loss of lives, our families and friends, coworkers, etc. In fact, in the United States, over 900,000 people have lost their lives as a result of COVID-related illness. That's profound loss. So as people experience this great loss over the last couple of years, the next thing is that moved into what I call the great reflection. So people started saying, what do I want out of my life? What's important to me? What are the priorities? Am I doing what I want to do at work? Is it fulfilling me? Does it fit with my values and align with my values? So really in 2020, we tried to hang on to our jobs because we weren't really sure what was going on, but we started reflecting. And then that reflection turned into the great resignation. So when we got to 2021, people started resigning. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about what's happened in resignation. So the first is childcare. Getting consistent childcare is tough, or any kind of caregiving for a family member. And so what's happened is parents and family members have made decisions and they've said, I've got to care for my family, so I'm staying home. So we know that at least 2 million women have pulled themselves out of the job market to stay home to caregive. The next thing is, as people reflected, some of them made some decisions like, I don't want to do what I was doing anymore, and I'm going to make a decision to do something else. Either I'm going to go work someplace else or I'm going to do something else. So they pulled themselves out of the market, even if for a little bit, to reflect. The next is stress and burnout. If you think about nurses, just think about them alone. Nurses have been on the front line for the last couple of years. They've been under a lot of stress. They've worked amazing hours. And quite frankly, we are now in a huge nursing shortage because some of them just said, I can't do it anymore. I'm burnt out. And they pull out of the market. And they're not the only ones. We have other frontline folks that have also pulled themselves away, or others that have worked really, really hard and they're to their brink. Then we also have those that have early retired. So these are people that are less than the age of 65, but they've said, you know what, I'm going to early retire. And we know that from Goldman Sachs, they've said that at least 1.5 million people retired early. So all these people have now come out of the workforce. Now this has led us to the Great Reshuffle, and that's what we're in now. So I thought this was really, really interesting, and this is about the state of Mississippi. Between January 2020 and January 21, Mississippi led the nation in the number of new business applications. And in fact, in January of 2021, there were over 6,000 applications for new businesses. So what does this mean for all of you? Well, what this means, it might be great for the economy of Mississippi long term, but it also means thousands of people that could have been working for you are now on their own. They want to be their own boss. And oh, by the way, if they're going to hire anybody, that's now competition for jobs that you may have with others. So you can see a lot of people have come out of the workforce, and I still think we're kind of shuffling a little bit, but this is kind of where we are today. So, what do we do about it? Well, I think first we need to understand the workforce. And we need to understand, for those people that are working or that may consider coming back into the workforce, what's important to them. What are they looking for? And this is for your current employees, and it's also for people that are looking for positions. And they're looking for things that are a little bit different. Number one, they want to work and have a job that has meaning and purpose. They reflected on this. This is important. That's important to them. Of course, you always want fair pay and benefits, but the other thing that I want to talk to you about is growth and development. You know, it used to be great if you could work for an organization that would offer you some growth and development. It was a nice to have. It's no longer a nice to have. People today that are working for you and those that may come into your business, it is an expectation. It is table stakes. You must offer them the ability to grow their skills, to offer them growth, and offer them some kind of development, maybe even a career path. So if you haven't been doing that or you haven't been thinking about that, please think about that, because it is an expectation now. Now, flexibility and work-life balance, we've all heard about that. That has come way up on the priority list for folks. So any way you can be flexible is going to be helpful. Physical and psychological safety are important, and people want a voice, and they want to feel like they belong to your organization. They want to be able to talk about innovations they could bring. They want to be creative. They want autonomy, and they want to be able to bring up things that maybe aren't going so well to be addressed, and they want to do it in a way so that they're not going to be retaliated against. They want to feel a part of it. It's important. And finally, diversity in the workplace. For your current employees and also for those that you bring in, they are looking for that. Are you committed? Are you committed to diversity in workplace in your organization? So this is what people are looking for today. So what I want to talk to you now about is, now that you know that information, and we know that from studies, what can we do about it? So the first thing I want to talk about is re-engaging the people that you have. How do you retain them? So the first thing that I would suggest is you take note of your critical talent. And who is your critical talent? Well, your critical talent is not everybody that you have. These are people with unique skills, unique knowledge, or they are operations critical to your company. Very, very important. If you lost them, it would put you in a world of hurt. So here's my suggestion. You want to keep them. Have a stay interview. A stay interview is where you have a special time that you sit down with them individually and you tell them, I value you. You're important. And I'm going to ask you some questions. What do you like about work? What's good about working here? What's wonderful about your job? What challenges you? What challenges are you having here and what challenges are you having outside of work? And by the way, if you were to ever leave us, what is something that might pull you away? Now, some people are afraid to ask that question, but I'd say better to know it now, right? So you can combat it. And the way you combat that is you have a retention plan. Maybe the retention plan has to do with development, or maybe it's, hey, this person really values some time off. Those are the kinds of retention plans, but you know what they need and want, and you let them know how much you appreciate them. Now, you also want to take a look at compensation. Compensation has changed over the last couple of years. Make sure you're still paying them competitively so that that's not an option for them to think about leaving. And finally, guard against stress and burnout. So what do we do with our critical talent? Well, we tend to overwork them. We don't mean to, but we trust them and they're really important to us. And so therefore, sometimes we overwork them. Guard against that. Stress and burnout. We know from the employee assistance company ComPsych that 92% of people that are experiencing stress and burnout, it's not because of their personal life, it's because they're overloaded at work. So take a note of that. Now, what about your other employees? They are also golden. They're not your critical talent, but they are golden. And so what I would suggest that you do is know every person known. And so what does that mean? You need to know their name. Many of you have several employees. You need to know their name. You need to know something about them, something about their family, what energizes them, what are their hopes and dreams. This is all very important. So some of the stay interview information that I gave you, that's important. Utilize that and get to know your employees. Second, take time to develop your managers and your supervisors. Many managers and supervisors were promoted because they were great employees, and that's wonderful, but have we given them the skills and the development in order to be good leaders? Now, we know from research that people don't necessarily leave an organization because of a company, they leave their boss. So if you have good leaders, that's really going to help you retain your talent. Also, that's going to help them develop. So make sure that you take time to develop those leaders. And my final thing to offer to you about retaining your employees is do a reorientation. So, when you come in new to an organization and a new company, you learn about the history and the purpose and the goals and the strategies and all the things that are wonderful about working there. You learn about your benefits and discounts and perquisites or all the great things about it, and you're engaged. Well, guess what? It's time to re-engage them. So do that. Tell them all the wonderful things again, remind them, engage them, help them feel a part of the organization. So by the way, when somebody else comes knocking on their door to say, hey, wouldn't you like to come work over here? They remember what benefits you offer. We forget what all that is. So that's a great way to re-engage them. All right, so now we're gonna switch and we're gonna talk about, attracting people to your organization and ramping up that candidate experience. And one of the things that I want to talk to you about is how important marketing and media is. So you've got to ensure a consistent message that's going out to your candidates. So what I did is I went out and I looked at some Southaven chamber members' websites. Now, why did I do that? Well, because where do we go if we want to learn about something? We go to your website or we go to your social page, and we look it up on our phone or we look it up on the internet. So I want to share with you what I think are some good examples that I found from some Southaven chamber members who are honing in, or at least it looks like it to me, on what candidates are looking for today. So this first one is about Central Coffee. What's great about this is they talk right away about their purpose. They have purpose and meaning. They're not just selling coffee or food. It's about community and it's about giving back. And they talk about giving back to survivors of human trafficking locally as well as nationally. That's something that gives me meaning if I go to work there. Next one is Chick-fil-A, because everybody loves Chick-fil-A, but they've hit it in 4 different areas on their website. One, they talk about how their team members are valued and respected. Very important. I want to feel like I belong and I feel like I'm important. Second, they're closed every Sunday. Well, you could consider that flexibility, right? Because I'm off every Sunday if I work there. I could do what I want to do. The next one is about they're offering scholarships and potentially tuition reimbursement. That means they're interested in developing you and growing you. And finally, they talk about giving back to their communities, and that's important to team members, and they can be involved in that. This next one I love, it's Huey's. Colorful. If you've been to a Huey's, you can see, you know what it looks like there. But I love what they say because it tells you a bit about their culture. They say we're fun, flexible, laid-back atmosphere that allows employees to express their own personalities at work. That is giving a candidate a glimpse into their culture. People want to feel like they can bring their whole selves to work. And so talking about how, you can bring your own personality to work, they love that. This is Goodwill. Now, Goodwill immediately says, our business changes lives in the Mid-South. Something you can get around. And this is Sherry, and if you would click on this gold box here, you can watch Sherry's story. And so it's a video of Sherry, and she's talking about how she learned about Goodwill and what it's like to work there and her journey at her time that's there. So to encourage you, if there's any way that you can show a video or you can have a testimonial about some of your employees that work there, really important to give a glimpse into what it's like. So I thought these were great examples. I invite you to go look at your own websites and see what you can find there, and if there's any ideas you have for improvement. Okay, there's 3 ways to find candidates I want to talk to you about. Some of these you might say, oh, I'm already doing that. And that may be the case, but hopefully I can give you something that's a little bit different to look about. All right, so it's job posting, networking, building relationships, and outreach. So we'll start with marketing your job postings. Now, most of my clients use Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, and I'm sure many of you are doing the same. So it's real important to include these things. Purpose of your company. Don't make them hunt for it. Put it up front, right? Anything of the values or the purpose of your company and what you're about. Then you want to put a summary of your job purpose and duties. I would not suggest that you put a job description. One of the reasons for this is they can be long, and the other reason is LinkedIn has done a study, and they found that a job seeker, if you're not engaging them right away, they'll give you about 14 seconds to take a look at that job posting, and they're on to the next. So this is a marketing tool right here by the language that you use, that it's encouraging and upbeat. Now, I want to tell you a little story about a business that came to me, and they were having a problem getting some applicants, and they were out on Indeed. Great company, and one of their values was that they really valued that team members were accountable to each other. Very, very important to them, which is great. Then we all want to be accountable to each other. But when I looked at their posting, this is what it said. It said, it's very important that our team members are accountable to each other. No whining, no complaining, no excuses. So 3 or 4 words changed the whole tone to that posting. And while they had best intentions, what conjured up in my mind was, number one, is like, ooh, do they have a problem there? Like, are there people that are whining and complaining? Or if I do go work there, am I going to be able to bring up any concerns I have and be heard? So 3 or 4 words can make a big difference in your posting. You want to make sure that it's engaging and positive. Again, you've got your website, you got your posting. Networking is also key. That's why you're all here. That's why you're part of Chamber. You know that. It's the same with candidates and the same with attracting them and networking them. So, important on your social and business networks. So, your Facebook, your Instagram, or LinkedIn, that you have a positive message out there. When people go to look, do they find out about your company immediately? Are you keeping it up to date? Are you showing your customers on there? Are you showing your employees on there? Are you showing events? Are you showing volunteer activities you're having? Are you showing employee recognition? Are you showing anything that you're doing about the social, the environment, all the good that you're doing? If you're not, take a look at it. Again, you want that thread of everywhere someone looks to be very positive and inviting. Now, I would suggest you use your current employees as referrals, and many of you probably are. But if you were able to put a great marketing piece together and make it real easy to copy and paste for your employees, ask them if they feel comfortable to put it out on their networks, guess what? All of a sudden, you've got a whole group of passive candidates potentially interested in your organization. Now, they may already be working somewhere else, but they might be interested if they see that it comes from someone that they know and that it is inviting and interesting. Well, where's the first place they're going to go look? They're going to go look on your Facebook page, and they're going to go look on Insta or TikTok or whatever you're on. But again, you want that consistent, positive message, and it's also, your current employees are some of your best. Now, don't forget your former employees, the ones that you have good relationships with, right? They also can be a network for you, and they may be a boomerang, as we call it. That means they may come back to you. So, and they might be able to just fill in for you while you're still looking for other candidates. So, consider that for your networks. Finally, building relationships and outreach. I know that you all know that this is important. Churches, community centers, second chance programs, schools, trade schools or whatnot. But I guess my message to you here is that you've got to build a relationship to build that pipeline over time. You want a talent pipeline. You can't do that by just asking them to post a position. You've got to sponsor them. You've got to, show up at career day at school, have a job shadow opportunity for kids, or internships. It's building that pipeline over time, okay? And just a word about career fairs. So career fairs can be great, but if you're going to show up in a good way. Bring some of your best people to the career fairs. If you just got somebody sitting there handing out brochures, it's not going to be very engaging, and you're going to miss an opportunity. Okay. So we're going to move now into the recruitment process, and the word of the day is speed. You've got to move quickly if you're going to snag the best candidates. You have to make recruitment and interviewing your priority. Has to be your priority. And I know everybody's busy and everybody's got other things going on, but you're going to miss it if you don't make that a priority. Now, for those of you that are out there, got postings out there and on Indeed and whatnot, look at the applicants that are coming in daily. Don't wait for a week or two, gather all the applications, then look over them and then decide who to interview. Guess what? Some of those people are going to be gone. You missed them. So look at them daily, contact them, get those interviews done really quickly. Now, you want to give a realistic view of the job. There's the glamorous part and there's the not so glamorous part, but they need to understand that because if they're coming on board, you want them to stay. So make sure you do that and then follow up right away and make those offers. If you find the people that you want, don't wait. Do not wait, because I promise you your competition is not going to wait. And then that perfect candidate, or the one that you wanted, they're gone. So speed is really, really important. So I guess in closing, I would just say it's time to change your approach. It's time to refresh. You want to make sure that you're engaging with the employees that you have and those that may be coming to you. You want them to be enthusiastic about your organization. If you think about your employees the same way that you do about your customers, you value your customers, there's what makes you tick what makes your company viable. And it's the same with your employees. Offer them a wonderful environment and culture, help them belong, help give them purpose, help them grow and develop. And the same with those that are coming in. And I believe you'll be in a good place to weather this talent crisis. Thank you. I'll be around after if you want to ask any questions. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Diane. That's some great information. It is a challenge for everyone these days in hiring, and culture plays a huge part. So thanks for that insight. We appreciate that. So now is when you're supposed to get out your phone or a pen, and we're going to talk about some things that we've got going on at the chamber. We are busy. We've got a lot. And I'm flip-flopping through here to let you know. First of all, thank Todd Demers. Todd and Patty, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for guest emceeing. I just think it's so important, and I love that you are a DeSoto County resident and that you just give back to business community. We appreciate you so much. We have some sponsorship opportunities for stuff coming up in the future. We are listening to our members. We've had so many members, I know over the past couple of years, say, when are you having a golf tournament? Everybody else does golf tournaments. Why don't Southaven Chamber do a golf tournament? And we didn't want to compete with everyone else because there are a lot of companies and a lot of nonprofits that really need those dollars. But you know what? So do we. It would be really great for the chamber to be able to continue to pour back into our membership and to do more with them and for them. And so for those of you who have asked, we listened, but not everybody golfs. And we want to include everyone in what we're doing. So North Creek is going to be our location for golf and games. We are having cornhole tournaments. We're going to have some other things besides golf. So save the date, April 7th, if you're interested in putting teams together. Maybe you guys are cornhole professionals. I don't know. If you don't play cornhole, there's going to be some other games. We are actually, and this may be a first anywhere, I don't know if there's ever been a bracketed competition for a giant Jenga game, but we're going to do it. So there you go. The other thing that I want you to save the date for is May the 4th at Brown Missionary Baptist Church. They were gracious enough to host for us in their gym on the main campus in State Line Road, LeaderCast. If you have never heard of or been to LeaderCast, Google it. We will be a simulcast host station for that. Diane was talking about training your employees and making sure that they have opportunity to become leaders. LeaderCast can help you do that. And so we have sponsorship opportunities for that, but we're going to have an in-person speaker at lunch, and we really hope that you guys attend. It's going to be well worth your time to be able to do that. It's an all-day event. There's going to be morning sessions and afternoon sessions, and there's going to be a lot of great speakers in that. We also have a couple of cabins left, I think, on the cruise in June. John Maddox is Tropical Getaways by John, so go back and see him if you're interested. On the back of your program, you'll see upcoming events. We are supposed to have Community Shred Day tomorrow, but if it's pouring, Mr. Weatherman, it might be raining, right? So that might get rained out, yeah. Sippin' Social is tomorrow afternoon at Thirsty Oak. Register for that if you're under 40. That leaves some of us out. Don't forget our active shooter training. That's super important. Coffee with a Member this month is at Coffee Central. And so come out and visit us with Tina Tatum. Our SHRA meeting is coming up, and Diane also touched on that. It's the topic for this month is diversity and inclusion. The Amazon workforce team is going to be telling us how they do diversity and inclusion, so I'm excited about that. So put those on your calendar, if you will. I am super excited, and I know Karen Dickey is excited with Community Bank that we are doing Women in Business again this year on Administrative Professionals Day, April 27th. So that's a great way, instead of having to buy flowers for all the girls in the office or not knowing what you need to do, send them all to lunch with us. We would love to have them. It's going to be here in this room, Women in Business. We always talk about real things and things that guys don't care about. So women, you guys should come hang out with us. We would love to have you. So that's April 27th. So please come. Visit our website, southavenchamber.com. You guys know that we're an active chamber. You know that we're going to offer ways for you to network and be involved. If there's any way that we can help you reach out to the chamber, we would love that, and we want to hear from you. And now, for all that you guys have been waiting for, and you're not going to believe this, but we have a lot of door prizes. So, again, thank you to our exhibit tables. Thank you to Lander Center for the food. It was wonderful. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Allegiant Staffing, for being our silver sponsor. Thank you, Dr. Adatro with Advanced Dental, and thanks, Windstone Dental. We're so glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much for spending time and investing and believing in the business community. We appreciate you all. Most of all, thanks, Diane, for speaking with us. You did a great job, and we appreciate that. Now, Woodman Life had some, door prizes that you can't really, there's no competing with some of these. They're giving away some small prizes at their table. Miss Helen Joe won one of those. Jeff Jones won one. Mr. McKinney, Kenneth McKinney, you won one. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna mess up this name. Liz De La Santo, maybe? I hope I didn't butcher it too bad. You won one. And Marguerite Dodson, you won a prize, See Woodman Life. Their large prize they gave away was a 43-inch TV. Catherine Haney, you won that. Yes, so go see them at their table. SIP gave away some theater tickets for DeSoto Theater. This weekend, they're hosting Matilda Jr., which should be great. Megan Sneed, go to the SIP table, Southaven Young Professionals. And Mr. P. Walker, you won one. So, Mr. P., go get your tickets. We have 12 tickets to Memphis American Soccer. They're doing a soccer game for free, y'all, this Sunday. So, there was a big scanner on the screen. They've got a table. Go claim your ticket. Bring your kids to indoor soccer. It doesn't matter if it's raining or not, right? So we can all enjoy an afternoon of soccer. Thanks so much, Andrew and Chris, for doing that. We appreciate you guys. The winner of those 12 tickets will have a yellow star on the back of their program. Everyone, turn your programs over. On the back, if you have an assorted sticker, go see Rachel, wave your hand, at the Southaven Chamber table, and she will tell you what you've won. We have a plethora of prizes ranging from a $25 Amazon card to Tops Barbecue sauces and seasoning. Windstone Dental did a water pick and a water flosser. We have a couple of Google Home Minis from Google. We have a home ACE kit, so it's a home maintenance kit. Thank you, Jeff Jones from Home ACE, for that. An electronic toothbrush from Advanced Dental. And $25, from Nothing Bundt Cake. So you can go get sugar and then brush your teeth. That'd be great. So thank you guys so much for being here today. We appreciate you so much, and have a great afternoon.